Well, Governor Cuomo, Fredo himself, Mr. Nipple Rings. I said, Ryan, why you call that man Nipple Ring? Because he got nipple ring, man. Well, he wants to tell Trump that you lied about COVID. You didn't take this serious. You flop. You need to tell the truth. So here, Mr. President, me, you need to do a reset. Here, I say, Governor Cuomo, what's up with the nipple ring? Man, I'm in my 50s, man. I'm not trying to get no nipple rings in my 60s, man. What's it with the nipple rings, man? You trying to tell Trump, Trump, you need to do a reset. Why don't you reset those nipple rings, bruh? Oh, they look horrible. They look horrible. But on a serious note, he's blaming Trump for COVID. And Trump do need to take some blame for this debacle. This is the reason why his numbers drop. If it wasn't for COVID, if he handled COVID half as good, I mean, smartly. No, don't get me wrong. The way Cuomo laid down the handling of this COVID, he did it textbook-like, step-like, something like a tutorial, something that you can use in the future. And that's giving him prominency and fame as a leader. But he got some nerves to talk about somebody need to reset when he need to reset also. Both of them need to reset. All of them need to reset. All of them take responsibility. You don't blame this. Oh, 200,000 people, 10,000 people died. It's all on Trump. No, it's on all y'all, including Trump. All of y'all had play in this. All of y'all had access to the data. All of y'all had intelligence. All of y'all had y'all had y'all fingers in the information. Don't act like you don't know. Don't act like you're not responsible for this Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer. It's all on Trump. And same thing with you, Mitch McConnell. Don't act like you ain't responsible for this. You all are. And even you governors of the states, you are responsible. Governor Cuomo, you know you're responsible. You got doctors out here using medication that's keeping people out of hospital by the droves, and you don't want to even tell the world about this medication. You want to join the Shame the Meds Club. And because of that, people are dying. So you got blood on your hands, bruh. You got blood on your hands. But, let's hear what this particular article got to say about Fredo. This is what Fredo said. If you want to hit the reset button, and you need to hit the reset button, and I believe we need to hit the reset button. I guess he's talking about himself. Then hit the reset button, but do it honestly, and it has to start with the president telling the American people the truth. Now, what I hate is when somebody say we need to do something, and then you point the finger at somebody. Stay with you, bruh. Stay with you. You step in the forefront. You're supposed to be the leader, supposed to be shining better than president or possible contender in 2024. How about you step up and say, look, I take responsibility for what happened in New York. And he did. I do admit he did, but he needed to take more responsibility and stop being so focused on Trump. Yeah, you hit him every now and then, but stop trying to put all the blame on this guy. Because you all are at fault. Here's Cuomo. The truth is, it was a mistake to deny COVID. Who denied COVID? I'm not a Trump guy. I don't follow Trump, but I don't remember him denying COVID. You probably deny at the beginning what it's doing here. It was a mistake to downplay COVID. So, Cuomo, you telling me you didn't deny COVID? You telling me you didn't downplay COVID? I mean, anytime you have an emergency trial of a particular medicine and you use the medicine for emergency use only and it didn't work and you start double dosing and triple dosing and in effect end up hurting people, and then you want to blame the medicine instead of you trying to figure out, hey, maybe we're giving these people too much of this stuff. Maybe we need to pull back some of it and see if that works. You scrap the whole freaking program. A medication that's been effective if you administer it right. if you administer it to people early when they find out about it in low dosage. Instead of going back to the drawing board trying to figure this out, you scrapped the whole program, keeping people from access to this very day. If I wanted to go get one of those meds, I wouldn't be able to get it right now because of restrictions led by him. The truth is, it was a mistake to deny COVID. It was a mistake to downplay COVID. Then why would you do something like that, Cuomo? It was a mistake to say it's just the flu. Well, you didn't know whether it was just a flu either until we start seeing all the people start dropping and you realize it's another highly aggressive virus. It was a mistake to say it's going by Easter. Whether he said it or not, what did you say? People say, you got to understand this, folks. See, I know I'm a big avid fan of Norman Vincent Peale. I read Norman Vincent Peale books, and it always have the power of positive thinking. Did you know Trump and his family went to Norman Vincent Peale's church, and he grew up on that ideology of the power of positive thinking? So that fool is going to say stuff hoping the power of positive thinking is going to come in effect. Brother, the power of positive thinking is for you. You can't put that on somebody's life. The power of positive thinking is for your own personal life. You have to speak that into your own life. You can't speak that in somebody's life. You can't speak that over the country. It takes a nation to come together and speak positive talks on this country. They probably get some positive result. But bro, you can't do that with everybody. So yeah, instead of saying it'll be gone by Easter, we should have put something in place to make sure it was gone by Easter. But yet, Cuomo, by Easter, we started talking about somebody that can, something that was cutting the mortality rate down 45-50% in a hospital setting. But you only used it for critical settings, emergency settings, ICU. Had you put that out there, who knows? The mortality rate could have dropped down very, very sharply. But you didn't administer it. Well, how come the numbers in New York are dropping down dramatically? Well, I admit to it, some of his measures on social distancing, wearing a mask, public transportation, dude put in some good ideas. He put in some good steps. I give that to him. But when it came to treating people, he cut one of the main programs down because he figured we didn't see any positive or negative. Then that don't mean you cut the program. You go back until you see a positive. He shut the program down. Now, also, here in New York, we have doctors from all over the world. They don't give a dang about CDC and the WHO. If they have to go scrape up something, if they have to kill 2 squirrels and take the blood from a squirrel and I mean, if it work, they'll try to do it. If they found out some medicine, if they are, like, for an example, it's a few people in Nigeria, here in New York, they're treating people with medication that the FDA approved, but they tried to restrict it for use and only restricted for emergency use. When this medication is not supposed to be used for emergency use, it's supposed to be used in early settings, but they restricted for emergency use. There's no effect for an emergency use. So instead of going back to the drawing board and see where it is being effective, they refuse to do it. This is New York now. This is Governor Cuomo. So he want to get on Trump. It was a mistake to say it's going to magically disappear when it gets warm. Well, a lot of people said that. You probably thought that, but you didn't say that. Because usually when you get warm, things don't, it's not, the numbers are not as high when it comes to flus and things like that. Even now, it's warmer here in New York. It dropped, and down south it went back up because people don't know how to follow the measures. It was a mistake to see the light at the end of the tunnel. What's wrong with him saying there's a light at the end of the tunnel? It was a mistake to say, yes, we're going to do testing, but I don't think we need it. Now that was a mistake. Those were all mistakes. Cuomo also said, you didn't think they knew it was a mistake? Then you don't know the American people. They're smarter than you think. Trust the American people. And if you don't trust them and you don't trust their intelligence and you don't trust their ability to handle the information, then you shouldn't ask to be their leader. I trust the people in New York. I told them the truth. I told them the facts. I never sugarcoated. I never showed it. I told them the truth. So they knew what to do and they did it. That's what we call big New York, tough and smart and united and disciplined and loving. They should try that in Washington. So Cuomo, he wants to act like he's the big deal. I did everything right. We did everything right in New York, and I didn't sugarcoat anything. I told them the truth. You didn't tell everybody the truth, Cuomo. You didn't. You cut Medicaid in the middle of a COVID crisis, number one. Number two, when there's doctors telling you there's some medicines that's been very effective, you sat down and played the game that, well, we need to get it tested. We need to have this test. We need to have this trial. We need to do this. We need to have the data. Where's the peer study? But yet, whenever the CDC came out with masks don't do nothing, you didn't tell them to come out with a test on that. Now masks does work. You didn't tell them to test that. Well, you need something over your eyes. I mean, all this kind of bull crap that kept going on and on, back and forth and things like that. You did it too. You did it too. Sure, you look tough with your nipple rings and the whole 9 yards. You made a tutorial on how to deal with viruses, but you left out the most important thing: treatment. To this very day, you're still not putting possible treatments to deal with COVID, like ivermectin, zinc. You still haven't opened up that trial. You still haven't opened up the ability where people can get access to 3 medications right now that has been known to cut it down over 90% if you treat people within 10 days. See, folks, in New York, this is what some of these doctors are doing. And these doctors would rather put their degree on the line and lose their practice than sit there and watch people die. Here in New York. And one of the reasons why the numbers are low is not just the social distancing. It's not just people wearing masks. It's not just that. We do all that. But it's doctors that are not listening to politicians and not listening to government bureaucrats. And they're treating their patients with what they use back in their country. See, other countries don't have to go through the political and bureaucrat crap that we go through every day. And therefore, they're treating people and seeing massive results. So Governor Cuomo wants to point the finger at Trump and tell him, you did it wrong, I did it right. So you can get some brownie points so you can boost up your presidential aspirations. You need to listen to the American people. You didn't listen to the American people because there are people every day telling you, I need this and I want to see, my doctor says it's safe for me to use. My doctor said it's safe for me to use, but he can't get it because he feels that they're going to pull his license for even trying to get it. That's a mistake, Doc. That's a mistake. Good thing I found out about it earlier, because if I wouldn't have had access to the medication before he did that stuff, this way before Trump even mentioned one of the 3 drugs, but way before then, had he shut it down then, I probably would be dead now. See, I don't monkey around with this stuff, and I don't play pussyfoot of politics with this stuff. I tell people to get at least look into it. Don't let these nut wings shame you into not looking at it. They got you fearing for nothing. Well, most of that stuff is done for late. Most of that fear is over there when you're in ICU, not at the beginning. At the beginning, it's very effective in driving out the virus. But Cuomo don't want people to know about that. And I believe he know about that. So for Cuomo to point the finger at Trump, when Trump have been telling people, look, I think this one medication work. Well, That one medication does work if you do it early. But you got to consult your doctor, and your doctor got to prescribe it for you. If you do it early, it has been known to work. Will it work for everybody? No. Sound like Kamala Harris. But then the doctor come by and say, look, if you add these two elements to it, it's very effective. Cut mortality rate and people's survival rates are in the high 90s. And now the data is out there to prove it. But we had to wait all the way to now for the data for people to actually start looking into getting treated when they could have been looking into this a long time ago. Who blocked that from happening? That guy right there. So don't act like you better than Trump. Stick your chest in. Trump he need to own the thing. And Trump made a bunch of foolish, dumb statements, and he need to eat it. And Trump made some dumb actions, and he need to eat it. But so have you. So stick your chest in, my friend. And on top of that, schools are back open. Now, why did Cuomo open up the schools? Money. I'm currently taking a class. I got a class Tuesday. I'm in New York. These classes cost money. I'm talking about $100 to thousands of dollars. And these classes only a few days. But the government is losing money. So they opened up those classes. And yep, I sat in my class with a mask on, social distant, for the whole 8 hours. He wasn't going to shut those classes down. Know why? Money to the state. Because these are state licensed class. So you have to take the class, you have to pay for the class, and then you have to take the test. So you're paying for the class, you're paying for the test, which means revenue to the state. So if I can go to school in a small classroom with a bunch of grown men, maybe it's CDLs, maybe it's security license, maybe it's child care, working with children, whatever it is, real estate license, whatever it is, they ain't stopping you from going to that class. Cuomo wasn't stopping you from going to that class because it makes money for the state. So, of course, he was going to open the schools back up for the kids. Of course. You know why? Because they need that DOE money. So, guys, make sure your children are protective and teach them not to take their mask off unless they're in a position where they can. Like, for an example, if the classes do have protective shields on the desk, which I'm starting to see, they probably could take it off then because they got a protective shield. But having that mask on is not, for 8 hours total, is not good for your health. You can catch Legionnaire disease like that because what you're coughing out is not going out no more. It's stopping there and you breathing it back in. So it's not healthy to have that mask on all day without giving yourself a break. Go somewhere like you're smoking. Go get your mask break where you go take off your mask and breathe some fresh air. Then you put it back on and go back to class. But anyway, I'm done with the story. Cuomo got the nerve to try to point the finger. I accept my responsibility. You need to accept your responsibility. Folks, when people talk like that, they are not sincere. They're cocky, arrogant, and they expect something out of that. Focus on what you did wrong. Focus on what you did wrong. I'm not saying that the person shouldn't know that he did wrong, but oftentimes, what I look like telling your kids that they're doing wrong and they don't even know me. Or what I look like doing something wrong and then you doing something wrong. And a lot of times people say it's I own up to my own responsibility just so they can point the finger up to somebody and say you need to do the same. Bro, I don't need you to do that. Just say you own up to your own responsibility. You can't Jedi mind trick me into making me feel guilty. It's not going to work. And I'm telling you, you're not going to Jedi mind trick Trump into feeling guilty. The dude has no guilty feelings. I don't think he have any remorse, and that's sad. So whatever he do, stop trying to make him feel bad. Stop. Focus on you. Focus on you. And you should feel bad. Heck, I feel bad when I don't tell people that there's help. Ain't no way in heaven and hell I'm not going to sit here and let you believe that these medications are going to kill you. I tell you, go study. And oftentimes I bring the study to you so you can study. Don't be listening to these fools on TV keeping you away from treatment so Bill Gates can give you some smart vaccine. Smart vaccine, really? And then there's an article saying that, I'm going to go over it on the Rob Report. An article saying forcing everybody to get vaccine is not unpatriotic. Matter of fact, it's very patriotic. Get the out of here, man. I'm not taking that. I take my Curtisin and my zinc every day. 1,000 milligrams of Curtisin and 50 milligrams of zinc. I take it prophylactically. Will it stop me from catching COVID? Prophylactically doesn't mean you can 100% not get it. But if it does come to you, its ability to duplicate it in you is very hard because you already got the killer of the virus in your bloodstream. That's why some people, like doctors and nurses here at New York Langone, here at St. Mary's, St. Joseph, here at Northwell Hospital, and hospitals all around the world, they are trying out the prophylactic method and see if it have an effect or if it don't. At least they're trying. And that's the type of person I am. I'm going to try it. If I see you trying it, I'm going to try it for myself. I'm not going to sit here and not take nothing and do nothing. That's not me. So, Governor Cuomo, stop pointing the finger at somebody. You need to look at those 4 fingers pointing at yourself. I'm not saying Trump don't need to own up to this. He do. But you got your part you need to play too. So why don't you take those 4 fingers and point them right there? Because that, my friend, is very, very disgusting.